All right, check 1, 2. Welcome to MPA Production Stream number 3. I am the guild leader, known in the community as the guild leader. Real name's Buddy. This is a stream we've been doing every Saturday now, for the community and just for for YouTube and Twitch, where we're just gonna work on music, mainly in FL Studio, but we can use other DAWs in the future. But it's gonna be music production streams. Um, Mainly focused on questions and feedback that are brought up in the community, and especially on our feedback streams that we do on Friday. So this is a way um, for us to, try to explain more of what we're talking about when we're, giving different feedback, and then also just to teach tips and tricks and to share my knowledge and stuff like that. So. Cool. These are real laid back, not too formal or anything. Probably about a 2-hour stream. Again, it happens every Saturday at 8 p.m. UTC. It's a global stream, so go by that. And cool. And if you're not a member, or if you don't, or you're not aware, we definitely we have a community, and we do a streams every Friday at 8 p.m. UTC on YouTube. That's a Feedback Friday stream. And now every Saturday we do this production stream on Saturdays. And for more information on that, again, if you're not a member, look in the Twitch or the YouTube description and the links, and you'll see our community links. You'll see our Discord and the Amino community app, and you'll see links to our other channels too. So if you want to get involved with the community, we are a music production community. Okay, this is the last day for. So we've been doing in the community a challenge. It's a 3-instrument challenge. MPA 3-instrument challenge, and today's like the last day, so if you haven't heard about it, I mean, you can still try to rush it. Download read the description, download the pack, try to make a song real quick and submit it by today if you want. But if you have already started, just haven't finished it, today's the day to just, find a closing point on it and submit it, however it is. And tomorrow we're going to stream on our Music Production Amino YouTube. We're going to stream the results. So tune back in tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC on our YouTube channel for the results. I'm going to submit something. I don't know how official my submission will be. I mean, maybe just as valid as the others, since I'm not voting on, or I'm not going to be picking the winner. So I'm gonna submit something. I'm not too proud of what I got, but I'm gonna try to finish it. All right, so here's the community asking me stuff. Okay, I'm gonna close this out. There we go. And I'll just say here. Okay, make sure I have everything going. So this is my version of the MPA 3-instrument challenge. Basically, the concept, if you don't know, is to there's just some like restrictions you got to use. There's a free plugin that is posted in the description of the challenge, and you download the plugin, and you can only use that plugin. And the plugin has these 3 free instruments, which is basically a piano, think a violin or string instrument, and then some percussion that I found. So we're gonna be messing with those. So basically, you build a song or a track or a piece of music with just those 3 elements, and you try to keep the elements as recognizable as possible. So you don't want to do too much manipulation or resampling. Okay, so I did play a little bit, but I'll play it again. So basically, right now I just have this chord progression here. I actually came up with this last Saturday on stream. And I had this done in piano, but I just really like the arpeggio. Like arpeggiating this, which is a really simple arpeggio. I mean, you're just walking up, boom, 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 boom. I could draw that in, of course, and then get a little more humanized on there. We're running out of time, so I don't know how much time I want to spend perfecting the track. I definitely want to make it sound nice, though, so I'm going to try some stuff. don't know how long my mic wasn't working. But, oh well. Okay. Some spam in the chat. Don't know how to block these people. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how long my mic wasn't working. That's just embarrassing, but whatever. Gonna keep going, you know. It's all you can really do. I'm seeing things that are bugging me. There's people in the chat asking if we want to become famous, and of course asking us to buy followers. But we all know that's not going to work. What's up, Tech Noise? I don't know if you're one of them, but don't buy their followers. Okay, so I don't know how long my mic wasn't working. That's silly. It's sometimes when I click on OBS here and I hit the space bar before I click off of it, like that, it mutes my mic, which is embarrassing. Right. One way to do it. Yeah, I mean, definitely not buying followers. I mean, it's like, what's the point? I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I want people to actually listen to my music. That's all I really care about. So if they're not actually listening to my music, it's a waste of money. Okay. Gotta make sure I don't leave my mic muted. I don't know how long that was, but whatever. I think the music was playing at least. So I'm going to leave it like this. I do want to start adding the percussion. I was saying, and I think my mic was muted, I was saying that I'm not going to finish this whole track on the stream, but I will get something finished to submit to the BlayHub by the end of the day. But my plan is to have a nice little arrangement for it. So it needs a beginning, a middle, and end. I'm going to keep it a short track, probably around 2 minutes or something. I don't know, honestly. But I have to really kind of think about it. It's not coming to me right now. I'm just going to come up with the different elements right now. So that was the strings, the piano, and then we have all these percussion sounds. And I already loaded up a bass drum, some claps, and a shaker. So let me just go and drop this, just to keep this moving. I'm going to grab the drums, empty drum pattern here, paint it into the playlist. There's literally no rhyme or reason to my arrangement right now. I can just erase half this, which I'll do. All right. And we'll start with the shaker probably. So let's see what this sounds like. Seems to be on C5 and D5. I'm gonna start with this, like the classic shaker pattern. Actually, let's take these and turn them down. Weird. Not really synced. That's weird. It definitely does not like you to mess with the notes while it's playing with this plugin. That's weird. Not with this patch. See how they get tripped up on themselves? Weird. wonder if that's the plugin trying to humanize it. Kind of a weird shaker. Let's see. I want to open up this plugin to see if it has some kind of auto humanizer happening right now. Let's see. Here's a randomizer. I don't know what this is. There's something wrong with it. It's like not working. Shorter loop. So weird. Okay, let's try this again. That's the loop. It sounds fine sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. Sounds good like that. Yeah, it seems to not be. Seems to fix it a little. Let's add some of the other percussion and see if it kind of ties it together. So what do I got? I got some claps. Oh, I'm noticing now. If I keep clicking it, it's not the same sample over and over. So it is the plugin. So it's probably doing the same thing on the shaker. It's either moving the start point or it's just triggering a different sample. I wonder if there's a way to fix that. It's weird. It kind of throws it off. That clap is muffled. Kind of hard to hear that clap. It's probably just because of the way it was, the actual clap itself. Not a lot of high frequencies on it. But I am going to see if I can bring some of it out. Like this. Yeah. See how much brighter that is? I love this plugin. Fresh Air. Free plugin. I like them really bright. That work. Yeah, and it helps it cut through all that other stuff. All right. I mean, thanks for being here with me today, Tech Noise, in the chat. Not a lot of people joined today, but I do this every Saturday. It's new MPA Production streams. It's our third one, and we do it every Saturday. And then I post the replay on our Music Production Amino YouTube channel sometime during the week next week. So we're gonna be really consistent with this. And if you don't already know, we have a feedback stream on Friday that we do every Friday on YouTube, where we give feedback to music producers on their tracks and stuff. All the links for that are in the chat. I'm not sure if you're already a member or not. I'm not recognizing the name. I'm gonna do a clap, boom, clap, clap. Okay. That's very bright. I'm gonna try to brighten down a little. Add some reverb to those claps. Probably really drown them. Let's see. Definitely because of the way the samples were recorded and the way they trigger like that, and it's very like human sounding. It doesn't sound too. It's like a mixture. You can tell, like, because of the piano arpeggio and like how perfect some of the notes are, and you put this real loose style drum on top of it. Kind of works. I'm gonna do a real simple bass drum, probably just a something to kind of keep the beat. Let's go to the bass drum pattern here. I'm gonna let me add some reverb to that shaker too. Yeah, that drum beat is like on the grid but not. It's weird. I think the shaker's doing a lot of it. I like it. Now it's working though. I like that reverb on it. I'm gonna EQ this shaker a little. Putting this little dip here on the shaker. I mean, when you boost it, it actually has a really nice texture. Actually, I think I'm gonna boost it. I think it's gonna fight with some of the other instruments. Maybe not. Maybe this is exactly what I need to do with the shaker. Really give it some body. Around the 2400. That really gives it some body, and if I take it away, it makes it really bright. It makes it fit with everything else, so Let's turn everything else on real quick, and then I'll try it back and forth. That seems to fit, but it almost like seems too thin. So let's go back to the other one. Yeah, that right there sounds too, like, it makes it sound cheap. It makes it kind of... This right here fills it out, but maybe it's a little too much. Let's do like this. And I probably don't need to roll off these highs. It really brings out that shaker. You can look on the limiter over here. We're clipping a lot, though, so... Going to have to do some fancy stuff. Okay. Trying to look at what clips over here mainly. You know, it's got a lot of these really sharp transients. I could easily fix a lot of that with like a nice bus compressor on the drum. So I'm gonna open up the drum bus. And I'm gonna dump a. I'm gonna really give these drums some character by dropping a plugin called Rough Rider 3, which is basically a compressor. Let's see what this sounds like. Not catching that one peak, whatever that's coming from. Okay, so what I am going to do to kind of add a little bit more movement to this and to kind of help those peaks, I'm going to go to my shaker track, and I'm going to add I'm going to duck them with the kick, so my sidechain with the kick. Just a little bit. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, ducking. I use a utility tool. I'm just going to link the volume knob to my automation clips that I have set up for my sidechain, my ducking. So this is for kick. I'm just going to link to controller. And I have different values, like different... I have a soft one, a soft kick, so I'm just going to do the soft one so it doesn't sidechain it too hard. Hit it that. Let's see what this is doing. That really helps the kick cut through. That second clap. Oh no. This is like every other second clap makes this clip. That did it. It's right around here, so let me... Sorry, I don't want to spend too much time. That's stuff I zone out and forever just trying to fix that. Worry about that later. kind of like the way I made it. I put that dip there. I kind of like that. And it's ever so slightly ducking those, actually ducking the volume on the shaker every time the kick hits. And that helps the kick cut through, of course. Let's see if we can turn that up a little, actually. I don't know if we're going to want to. No. That was a simple little beat, but gonna work for now. I'll probably maybe extend this loop and make a little variation in it. Maybe. Or just add another little percussion element that's not so repetitive. Or just something else, like some little, just add a little bit more percussion, like, rhythm. Again, this is working, but I'm not liking ultimately this song. I mean, it's just, I just don't like this. Maybe it's the piano. Let's figure out what is working and what's not working. This is kind of working. Whatever. The difficult part really is that there's just these three elements. I mean, it's really all in the composition and the writing of the song. It's not really about like the sound design, of course, and how good you can mix it. It's gonna be, of course. I mean, it's gonna be. This is just like one idea for the song, but the song can't just be this whole thing on loop. It needs to be needs to tell more of a story. Um, this gets mentioned a lot on our Friday feedback streams, especially by Playhub. But Playhub he comes from this, he makes this kind of music, and he does a much better job. I'm not doing it justice at all. And a lot of the disconnect and the confusion, almost sometimes on the feedback streams, give feedback on the different types of tracks that are submitted, which is usually mainly electronic music of some kind, if not hip hop. some guitar stuff sometimes, but it's mainly electronic stuff. And then there's actually more. I find there's more music like this than even rock music in our community. Seems like a few people dabble with this, and a lot of everyone else is just dabble with electronic music. And then there's some rock things, but uh, yeah, music production. Amino, hello, uh, Enix. There's a link for it in our in the description here. We have a YouTube channel, SoundCloud, and a Discord. So, anyways, the thing is, as electronic producers do know, there are just a lot of things that are done different. It's you can finish a song with really cool tricks and sound design and real short loops and actually do something pretty good for the electronic world. Um, but if you were to combine the two, uh, you can get songs that has just a lot more to it than just the sound design. But I like the best of both worlds. Uh, Henix in the chat saying, "How many of you are good?" I am good. uh, how many in the community are good? If that's what you're asking, we are a there are some really good producers in the community. Most members of the community are beginners and or been working on music for a couple years, and then there's a good handful that have been doing longer, and then there's some experts. But it's a fun community. It's a nice collective, and we do competitions every month. We do playlisting uh, on our SoundCloud, where we basically and we're reposting, members' music, and then we do feedback streams on Friday. Feedback Friday. So we basically take tracks from the community submitted, and we give feedback. Panel of me, a couple co-hosts, and some other hosts come on, members of the community, and we just give feedback and stuff like that. And then Saturday we do the production streams now, and then we do Discord hangouts and stuff like that. So yeah, just a little music production community, real humble one, but we got plans to continue to grow it for sure. This track right here is for one of our challenges that we had this month. It's actually due today, so it's like the last day to work on it. It's called the 3-instrument challenge. My problem is I'm not liking the way this is sounding at all. I didn't spend enough time on it. So probably after the stream, I'll probably stream for another hour, but after the stream, I'll probably continue to work on it and get something that I actually like and submit that. And then, yeah, next month we have a remix competition. Should be pretty fun. So after this challenge is done, we'll be starting our new challenge, which is a remix competition that will go all next month if y'all are interested in that. Trying to think how humans would actually play this. In the EDM world, we'd run some like low pass filters or some high pass filters, and we'd like filter the strings out, and we'd filter them back in or whatever. But they don't, do that with the real instruments. They would basically just lower the volume. So if I want these strings to get quieter, like. I need to take the second half here and just kind of like lower the volume as it goes, kind of like this. Is that even working? Let's try a little bit more drastic. Why doesn't it sound like the volume's lowering? Because it's not. Which I don't know why it's doing that. So the other one, the other patch, it works with the volume. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. I don't know. But another way to do that is to just go here. I'll go to that channel, and I'll just add like this volume utility. I'll create an automation clip, of course, and then we can just lower the volume like this. Doesn't that work? Okay. You know, and then I probably want to open a volume automation on pretty much every one of these to add that extra human touch to it. It's not going to be filters at all. It's going to be volume automation. Like, to me, it's like, I keep trying to think of where the vocals are going to go. But there's not going to be vocals. I'd probably have better luck. I did hook up my piano with my MIDI keyboard. I'd probably have better luck if I was to just, like, play something in. A little bit of latency. Hey, Tori. How you doing? Latency in my MIDI controller, and that's probably something to do with the, you know what that is when I use these, I was using linear phase EQs, and it adds latency, which is kind of annoying. I don't know if those linear phase EQs were even necessary, honestly. Let me jump back over here real quick. What was I even EQing? I was doing the strings. I'll just turn these back off. Turn that off. Gotta see if that fixed the latency on my keyboard. Yeah, it did, big time. I just feel like if I was to just record something, I'd come with something a lot more interesting. But let's see here. So, I mean, there's already kind of something happening here. Like, okay, I'll turn the arpeggiator off on the piano for a second, even though it's just making this a lot simpler. Maybe it's what's also like forcing this down, you know, a path I don't really want to go down. So let's just turn the... I have to click back on this and... I mean, I bet if I fiddled around with, like, let me go up an octave here. Those other ones are bugging me. So if I was to just take this like this. now I'm just like, I had that other thing stuck in my head. I need to come up with something fresh. I need to learn my chord progression a little better before. I mean, if I was just kind of play around like that and record some stuff and then fix all the mistakes, I could carry the song through. And that's kind of why leads work so well. It's why vocals work so well. It's what carries the song through. So basically what I built here, it's just a backing track. You know what? Let me turn those strings back on. The second one, now that I turned the arpeggiator off on the piano. Let's do this. That little string arpeggio thing there kind of gives it a little bit of a melody, but it's more of just a rhythm. I mean, a rhythm with a little bit of a suggested melody. I really just want a vocalist. Drink some of my water. So a little bit more percussion will carry it through, but like if you bring some in and then drop it back out. Right now I have all this percussion on the same track. But what I want to do, break these out. So there's a way to do that. Let's see if I can remember. Select source pattern, edit pattern, rename card. Change to make unique. Select all similar clips. Delete. Use. No, it's not what you do. Click on drums. Talking FL Studio here, anyways. We click on this, drop this down. Split by channel. I hope I did that right. Okay, so I just split by channel. I put all the shaker there. Okay, yeah, that worked. So there's the shaker. So that separated the pattern. That's a little trick for the FL Studio users. If you have all your stuff in one pattern and you want to quickly break it out, you can split by channel. Oops. Okay, so now we have a separate pattern for each percussion element. So now it'd be easier for me to like drop certain things out. So like, say I dropped the shaker and clapper out. Oh, look, I just noticed that it automatically duplicated. It automatically duplicated all three of them for me too, and stacked them on top of each other. So I need to delete all those and put just the shaker at the top. When I split by channel, it put all three patterns on top of each other. I didn't know it did that. Okay. So there we go. Now they're three separate tracks. Let's see, did it. Shaker really picks it up. So let's see here. What if we did like That shaker is so weird. It's because of the way the samples start, and this is clipping like crazy. Piano is a lot louder when it's not just doing one note at a time. Duh. So let me turn that piano down a little. I'm still just playing with some ideas. I'll finish this after the stream. I do better with like final decisions, like when I'm like not live and I can actually just try like, I mean, music producers don't realize this, or not everyone, but or people watching music producers, but you know, you got to try things that sound bad before you find the thing that sounds good sometimes. So if someone watching you make music, they might think you're like down a path. They're like, oh, you know, what is this guy doing? But so much in the music creation process is trying something for a while until you decide you don't like it, and then trying something else, and that doing that is how you're going to find the better stuff. And really, you know, I'm at that stage right now that this is not coming together in a way that I like. But main reasons for that is it's not a genre I usually work with, and also the limitations of just the 3 instruments. But as I was saying, I think it's more natural for me to play my MIDI controller and treat these like real instruments, which they are, like a violin and a piano, and actually play something instead of trying to MIDI sequence this like it's an electronic dance song. And there's so much to be learned here. I wish Blayhub was tuning into this chat, because again, we talk so much about this during our Feedback Friday streams, and I don't think it's so much right versus wrong the way it might come off sometimes when the judges are like, I mean, the hosts are like giving feedback, as it's just two different worlds, two different mediums, and this music serves almost two different purposes. But there's a lot to be said about making your electronic music more musical by paying attention to this kind of stuff, which is the composition. And you're going to get better electronic music, but there's also lines and borders when it comes to electronic music that you have to at some point also make things more repetitive, to be honest with you, because that's what dance music, that's how dance music kind of works. It trances you when it's repetitive enough, especially with drums. Drums are a very repetitive instrument. You drum loop, you make a repetitive rhythm, and you repeat it over and over and over. It makes you start bobbing your head, it makes you start moving, it makes you start dancing. And that's part of dance music. Not so much in something more like this, which, you know, the notes are going to tell the story. The lead is going to lead it through. Right here again, it's just like a backing track without some kind of lead. Lead would be one thing, but also more importantly, also just as important, is an arrangement. Like after this is played through once, I don't want to loop it. I want it to go into something else, you know. Add some more percussion right here to start. I want to do some sidechain on that piano. The kick drum's messing with the piano. It's just funny. You don't normally do that with these kind of instruments. Let me just see if I can just EQ it. Takes a lot of that low end out of the piano, but it helps it. Not clash with the little bass drum, but I like that little rhythm. It makes that, just listening to that by itself makes me want to like play the guitar or something, you know. I just don't like the way those. I'm gonna just run a regular limiter on it also. Compressor. Just kind of like. I don't need to do that. I mean, the compressor's doing nothing but turning down the kick drum, and I could just do that by turning down the kick drum. But I didn't. Now if I compress this more, you get that like that kind of effect, and then I can get some more volume out of the whole percussion section. I don't want to do that though. Let me delete this. Not what I want. What I want to do is I'm going to go to the kick itself, bass drum. I'm going to EQ it a little. I like the top end of this. Sounds really good. Essentially the only low end, and might as well leave it all. These plugins are nice. So these plugins are free, for sure. They're just it's called again. All this information's in the community, the challenge post. But if you're not gonna, if y'all don't want to go look it up or not gonna enter or whatever, just to let y'all know again, these are called. So these are from a company called Orchestra Tools. Orchestra Tools, and you download their player for free. And then they have like a store, essentially, I guess. Yeah, a store where you can buy all kinds of these great sounding samples, libraries, which, you know, you can tell they're recorded by real instruments and all that stuff in real spaces. Well, these three here are free: Ratio, Helix, and Gearbox. And that's what we're using for the challenge. So, they're really great sounding. And I definitely use these in something else, but it's not the kind of music I make. Listen to that. It's thrown off right there, big time. It is so weird how that plugin gets thrown off. I mean, I don't think it's like doing it in a bad way. I think it's trying to like humanize itself and be more Let me see if I'm doing something wrong, though. Let me open up Shaker. Process minimum size buffers. Use max. I mean, another thing about this plugin itself, in FL Studio, I had to like fix. It had to like it just wouldn't work straight out of the box. Blayhub mentioned it too, that if you're using this plugin inside of FL Studio, you have to come over to this little settings right here. You got to click down the troubleshooting drop down box, and I turned on use fixed size buffers, and that fixed the problem it was having. But I wonder if that's also causing this other issue, or if this like there's these two little things here: process maximum size buffers and use maximum buffer size from host. Don't know what those are, and neither one of them seems to be checked. So you just kind of experiment, but a lot of people don't know all this stuff's here. Like, you can really get deep inside some of these plugins and with the routing and stuff by going into the like the auto map outputs here, or you can do it manually. A lot of different things you don't see unless you dig deep into these menus. All right, yeah. Okay. So what are we looking at here? We got an idea. It needs a really nice intro where not everything just comes in at one time. Like, things need to be introduced. A subtle intro. But we can get straight to the point after that, like some kind of intro. Then it gets straight to the point where everything plays. But since there's no real lead or vocal like taking over, I'm gonna keep each part like kind of short. So like I'll kind of like play through it, and then it'll break back down to like nothing, maybe, or just a kick drum. And like some other percussion, and start bringing the stuff back in. So basically like a second build up, but more of like a bridge, and then to like a second build up, and then kind of go back into more of a this whole thing again, but with more to it. Maybe like a lead, a little bit of a different progression, maybe, but more of just kind of like a bigger version of the first drop, even though it's not called drops. And then like an outro, like an epic outro, and keep it short. So that's what my plan is to have done by the end of today. And submit that over to Blay. Now, we've got about 30 more minutes on this stream. See, there it is. I tried to do that on purpose. See how the drum pattern is like tripped up on itself now? Something to do with I stopped it really fast, started it again before it gave time for it to like. A way around this is to just resample this. I'm going to resample these. I'm going to resample some of these percussion elements because then I don't have to worry about them playing back different every time. So for example, we'll start with the shaker. All right, there's different ways to basically essentially freeze the track is what I want to do, but I don't want to record it with all with these effects on. So the way I'm going to do it, first of all, I'm just going to save this so I don't mess it up. And the way I'm going to do it, this works best for my workflow, is I'm just going to take that shaker, send it back out to the master, and run it. I mean, you can actually just freeze. Again, there's different ways to do it, and I'm reading my messages real quick. There's different ways to do it. You could just turn off the effects on the track and render it out, and there's actually a way to freeze the track or something like that, or render from here. But I don't do that. Since I saved the project, I don't worry about messing anything up here. I'm just gonna go back to the saved version I just saved. So what I do here is I just kind of treat this as like a workbench, and I'm gonna get the samples out of here. I'm gonna take it back to my main project. Blah 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 blah. Okay. But I'm a little lost again. Here's a shaker. I'm gonna send this out to the master. So now we have the clean version of this, just like that. And I'll render this out. So file, export. Go to my projects, MPA, 3-instrument challenge, shaker. Let me check these settings real quick. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. I'm going to actually just leave that on. Enable insert. You could actually also right here, enable insert effects. If I was to turn this off, it would not have rendered out the effects with it. So there's, there's just so many different ways to do it. It's really about habits and workflow. But here, I'll render that out. Now we have those hats. Let me see if I might do it with the claps as well. Put those to the master. There's the clap pattern. I'll render that. I'm just hitting Control R, but you can just exporting, do claps. I'm actually rendering with the master effect on, so it's actually being boosted by that limiter, but it's okay because it's not clipping, and it just gives me a louder sample. Not necessary, but whatever. There's that. And, might as well do the kick drum too. Bass drum. I'm just listening to it. It's a really nice sample. Our recordings. Let me render this one. All right, so now we got all the stuff from the gearbox that I was using, the gearbox thing for the percussion. Probably add some more, but for now that's fine. And like I said, so I saved this project. I'm not going to save again. I'm just going to open up the saved version without saving it. It's going to take me right back I was before I started rendering all that stuff out, messing up my project. And now I'm just going to drop in those new samples. Okay, that's the way I do it. There's other ways. Let me all this. This clip at the very top here, this my side chain trigger. That's triggering the ducking, the automation. And I mentioned this a lot, but I pull mine to the left a little, my triggers, left of the grid just a little, so it triggers it right before, and it gives it time to like duck. Yeah, it works better. I like the way it sounds. And then over here to the left, I have the actual automation clips. So I can adjust the values, how much they're ducking, and the curve, stuff like that. So that's how I'm doing my sidechain. I'm not gonna do much sidechain or ducking in this song probably because of the genre, but I'll use some of it for technical reasons to fix mistakes and stuff probably, or to fix like the loudness or whatever. All right, let's drop those samples in. So samples, projects, MPA, 3-instrument challenge. Okay. Bass drum. Claps. Shaker. And of course, now we can go over to the plugins themselves and mute them. Like actually mute the plugins. Because we don't need to trigger these anymore. So actually just the shaker, clap, bass drum. I muted the original things. That should deactivate them completely. Stop using the CPU altogether. And then I'll go down to the new samples I just dropped them, and I'm going to route them to the mixer tracks that the other ones were in. So 14, 13, 12. Okay. I'll organize this later. Okay, so now we have the actual audio files in here. We don't have to worry about the plugins like tripping up on themselves or whatever was causing that. Let's do this, and we guaranteed they'll play back the same every time. And another cool thing about this is if there's like one little note that like or one little shake or hit of the percussion that doesn't like it, I can go into there and just move just that one and something with it, chop it up. Okay. Right. Since I mastered all that out, I rendered all those out with like the limiter boosted. I'm about to turn these down, so let's start with the kick drum. What is that causing that clip? It's driving me crazy. I know it's something simple, but like... It's the second clap, but what's so weird is there's nothing else happening in that when that clap is happening. Like just the sample itself. Like look at this. You know what I'm gonna do, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna throw a transient shaper on that clap. I don't know. I'm gonna actually jump over here to my presets. I've got transpire. I fixed it. I just smoothed out that transient. And it kind of on that second clap, it doesn't have time to open all the way back up. There's always a way to fix it. There we go. I ain't clipping no more. Hey, look at the drum track now. That's okay. I like that. I need to lower this volume so I can get a better reference. Just in my headphones so I can see what this actually sounds like at low volumes. Down real quick. Shaker's pretty loud, huh? That same little boost I made here that I liked so much is also kind of starting to bug me. I'm always checking this OBS thing here to make sure I'm not muting the mic. Again, I don't know. Like earlier, the mic was muted. I don't know how long it was muted. I kind of did that on the stream last week too, but it was just the beginning. I need to like have a better way to check, make sure my mic's coming through at all times. Actually, last week I think it was Fruity Loops volume was turned down. My mic was turned up. I didn't realize it, and I'm just like streaming and talking about what I'm working on, and no one can hear the music. But I fixed it pretty quickly, I think, early on the stream. The shaker's either just too loud or I need to EQ. It's probably just too loud. I'll make it a little brighter. I don't like what it sounds like when I dip it right there. It like takes away all its character. Maybe... why not? Let's add that fresh air plug into the shaker. Fresh air. It really does a great job bringing out those high frequencies without it doesn't sound like you're just running an EQ shelf on it. It's more of a dynamic EQ. I like the way the limiter's looking now too. Look how full this looks. That kick drum though, it's kind of weak. Let me. The shaker's just really loud. I have my headphones turned down very low. That's why they always say mix at low volumes. And you just get a different reference point, really, is what it kind of is. But it works really good, I find, to make sure your hi-hats and your cymbals and other things aren't way too loud or too quiet. Because if you turn the volume down of your headphones super low, like I have my monitor headphones turned down super low right now, where you can barely hear the kick and the clap, but it sounds like the shaker's still super loud to me in comparison. So what I want to do is I want to balance it at low. Excuse me. I want to balance that at low volumes. So when I turn it up, it sounds right. Oh, I do not like the way that sounds. What are we doing here? I am. I was being a little too picky for this track, but okay. Let me turn my headphones back up. Gonna have to work for now. Okay, bring I like that. When I lowered this, the high air knob on this higher. You know, the piano chords could probably do something a little more interesting, since now that I took the arpeggiator off the piano, I could be like bong, ba bong, ba bong, bong, like more of a rhythm with the piano chords. I'm not gonna leave this delay on there, but I'm just to get an idea. I'm gonna throw a delay on there. Watch. I'll put this at like. I was gonna put this on thirds. Well, I hope I can come up with something that I actually like by the end of the day. I'm happy with a lot of the things I did, but I would not be happy with this without really putting some more effort into it. All right, we're gonna try to sidechain the piano just a little bit. It's not necessary because the piano note's only hitting when the kick drum hits anyways right now, so I just need to lower it, but it just gets so quiet. So there's different ways to sidechain. I could duck just frequency on the EQ that might be clashing and causing it to clip. But still, even then, you got to be kind of careful with the way it sounds. You don't want it to sound. You don't want it to sound sidechained in this kind of music because again, this is supposed to be like piano and strings. It's not like electronic dance music. So in this kind of music, sidechain is more used as like a tool. It's not supposed to be noticeable. It's supposed to be there to help two instruments that might not be working together so well to kind of work together better. Things like that. But let's see here. I'll lower the actual channel piano, make it quieter. Here. See how quiet that gets? If I go to the bass drum itself, maybe there's a frequency I could EQ out even. I mean, you don't want to take away any of its beautiful character. Like right there. I'm also mixing in a different way. It's like I'm still doing so many things that I would do in electronic music and not this kind of music. So I'm trying to force things to be loud. I think that kick drum mainly. Let's see. That's doing a weird clipping thing again. This is why they cut so much stuff out in electronic music to make just to make it work with the kick and the bass. Because as you know, kick and bass and the snare sometimes is like so important in electronic dance music. They kind of are, you know, I mean, they're like one of the main elements. People don't always think like, oh, they're just drums, you know, but you mix them really loud in electronic music. And in most modern genres of electronic music, the kick drum is like one of the loudest things. And the reason why that works is because a lot of it's just made up of low frequencies. So it's not taking up the entire frequency spectrum. It's just taking up, you know, a really narrow band in a sense, depending on the kick. And it's such a short hit, you know, that, you know, you sidechain right around it and it just works, you know, it's really loud. It fills in that little gap. Everything else gets ducked around it. And then everything else comes in, you know, with the sidechain. But, you know, forgive my ignorance, but I haven't mixed and made music of every genre. And it's almost a little scary to think of how would I even go about some genres when the kick drum's not the loudest thing and I'm not using the kick drum as like this ultimate reference for everything else. I don't know. And maybe in some ways it really is still one of the loudest things because again it's like low end frequency. You're talking about the thump, the thud, the bass, and when that hits, depending on the sample or whatever. But when that hits, it could go all the way up to, you know, -6 or 0, wherever you're mixing at, and just be low frequencies, and so you don't really hear it, you just feel it. You know, it's more bass. Oh, excuse me. So it's just something to think about, and it's also something that I need to like learn. I mean, I mainly mix with my ears. I always mix with my ears, but I get really good at mixing with analyzers and meters. Pull up span here. And watching all the analyzers and the levels. And then you start to know what things are kind of supposed to look like, in quotations, based on what you like the sound of. Like, you usually like the sound of something, and then you visually see what it looks like, and then you start to notice over time that that shape is pleasing to you. So it gives you kind of a reference and some borders and some boundaries to stay inside of. There's no bass in this track right now. Like, what are we gonna use? What are we gonna make bass out of? Like, I could take the low string. Actually, probably just the piano notes. Like, probably do some low piano notes, maybe. I know, I have something in my head, but it's not coming out. It's not gonna work. I'm just trying to see if that fills in like the lows that I'm talking about. No, because again, in electronic music, where we love that sub, low sub, and OCD kicked in for a second. And I don't know if you're gonna get that out of like most of the bass on this kind of music probably be right around here. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think I was purposely just talking at the end because I ran out of ideas, but I'm definitely going to try to finish a little short version of this to get submitted as my entry. But I'm not trying to beat anyone, honestly. I just do this to promote the competition, the challenges. I'm really excited to hear what other people come out with and submit. So today is the last day, so get your submissions posted today. If you're watching this stream, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this stream on another day, you know, it's too late. But tomorrow we'll be doing the result stream. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC on our YouTube channel. So not here, but the YouTube channel. Come check out the result show and hang out there. And then you can hang out in the Discord too and watch it there. All right. And then next Friday, we have our Feedback Friday number 34, I believe we're on. It's not posted yet. I'll go ahead and get that posted. So feedback stream 34 next Friday, and then next Saturday we'll be doing the next production stream. I will not be working on this again. I'm going to be doing something a little bit more, something that I'm better at, you know, something that I can actually show off some more stuff. I hate all these ads, even though I do like World of Warcraft. Our website has all these like these preloaded ad targeted kind of things now, and it's annoying. All right, but okay, one last plug. I do give FL Studio lessons, like professionally. So private lessons, FL Studio. If you're interested, I can actually do some other DAWs and stuff, but it's mainly FL Studio. If you want to get the most out of me, FL Studio is my DAW. Now, if it's just music theory or some other techniques, I can show you in pretty much any DAW. And I teach all that stuff. So if you're interested in private lessons, just hit me up in the community. You can hit me up on Discord, in the Amino, email, whatever. It doesn't matter. Again, just hit me up, the guild leader in Amino. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, close it down, and finish this track, hopefully. See y'all later. Thanks for those that stopped by the chat, and thanks for those who rewatched the replay. Please like, comment, subscribe, and stuff like that, and share it with your friends. Bye, everybody.